Hi everyone, and welcome back to Herzography. We're out on location in Watson Lake, Arizona, and I'm doing a little infrared photography. Now, there's not a whole lot of green here, but I did find a tree way out in the distance that I'll show you in a second. And what I'm doing here is I have my MAVEN 720 magnetic filter on the front. Now, normally you can focus and put your polarizer on, but when you're dealing with infrared photography, the infrared focusing spectrum is different than the visual spectrum. So we have to put the filter on and then focus manually, because your autofocus will autofocus but on the wrong place in the image. So what I've done here is I put the infrared filter on, and then in manual focus mode I use my peak highlighting and get really close, and I'll go ahead and zoom in to 100% right now onto the tree, and so that way I can find focus with the manual focus ring and take a look and make sure that I absolutely have that nailed focus. And if it's not bright enough, you might have to increase the amount of time or increase your f-stop to be able to clearly see the focus point. But so right now I'm increasing to right where I can get it. Now I do have a function button here to be able to give me the focus peaking. It can be difficult, but just be patient, and once you get that focus in, then you'll be all set to go ahead and shoot the image. Just make sure that if you have adjusted your exposure, that you go ahead and readjust the exposure back to where you need to be. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, right now I'm set on 90 seconds. I believe I want to be on 30 seconds. Your exposures when you're doing infrared are going to be fairly long. You don't want to increase your ISO too much, because then you'll just increase more noise, and then you have to use noise reduction, and you're on a tripod anyway. So right now I have my ISO set at 500. I could probably go down to 100, but then I'm going to increase my exposure time. Instead of it being 30 seconds, I'll be going to at least 2 minutes. And I'm not sure if there's really a reason to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off. I do have a delay of a couple of seconds, I think 3 seconds, and now it's shooting the 30-second exposure. All right, the exposure's done. I'm just looking at the back of the preview on the camera, and the histogram looks great. It's much easier for me to see my screen than maybe on yours, unless you have, I put an anti-glare film on the back of my camera instead of having just the glossy screen, because when shooting landscapes, I just find that a glossy screen is just really hard to see out in bright sunlight. But let me take a look at the image, and the image looks great. I look forward to showing it to you. It is, I'm probably going to take another one. The water's gone nice and soft. I think the exposure might still be a little bit bright, so I'm going to shoot the next one at 30 seconds. Still at f11, ISO 500, and let's see how we do with that one. So right now we're exposing. I'm not going to touch the tripod or anything. Just going to watch and enjoy the view. And here is the final image. I will go over my Lightroom settings in the next video. Thanks for joining me, and please give me a like and subscribe, and I'm looking forward to having you join me in the next video. Bye for now.